Hello there. Welcome to the World Today. I am Mustafa Amego, coming to you from New York. Coming up, the Mali conflict has spread to Algeria. A Nigerian general is named as the head of the ECOWAS troops to be deployed to Mali. General Olusegun Obasanjo is honored by a university in the United States of America. Nigerian leaders loot treasury and use religion as a cover-up. The beloved Emir of Kano attacked. The United Nations Security Council has unanimously backed the military intervention by France in Mali. The United Nations Secretary General Banki-Moon said he hoped the intervention will help restore Mali's constitutional order and integrity. Thousands of ECOWAS troops are due to join Malian and French forces to help push back the Islamic rebels' offensive. A Nigerian Army General, General Shehu Abdul Qadir, has been named as the head of the ECOWAS troops to be deployed to Mali. He is to oversee thousands of troops from across the West African region, as the region faces an enemy that has no regard for human life. Malian President Dioncoundé Traoré late last week declared a state of emergency, which was recently extended to 3 months. This is coming in the backdrop of the fear of the rebels advancing southwards towards the capital Bamako. On Monday, the Security Council convened in New York for an emergency meeting at the request of France. France's UN ambassador, Gerard Araud, said his country had the understanding and support of the 14 other Security Council members. But he also added that France wishes to see the West African troops deployed as quickly as possible. The forces will be deployed under the Security Council Resolution 2085, which was passed in December 2012. It allows for a 3,000-strong Africa-led mission to intervene in Mali. The Islamic rebels controlling the northern region of Mali have been moving steadily towards the capital Bamako for the past couple of weeks. The French army in a statement said, "Army jets bombed rebel training camps, armory, and other targets in northern Mali." The latest air raid is the relentless effort by France as it supports the Malian government forces battling the Islamic rebels. Additionally, France has sent about 550 troops to Mopti and Bamako. They will soon be joined by about 2,500 more French troops. France intensified its airstrikes on rebel targets over the weekend. The northern Mali town of Gao was heavily bombarded, and some witnesses said Douentza has been bombarded continuously. Residents said the rebels in Gao and Douentza had either fled or have taken cover from airstrikes by last Monday. The West African forces have begun to arrive in Mali. The breakdown of the ECOWAS troops deployed are as follows: 1,200 from Nigeria, 500 from Ghana, 500 from Niger, 500 from Senegal, 500 from Burkina Faso, 500 from Togo, and 300 from the Benin Republic. The US, UK, and Germany are providing cargo planes for the war effort. Further logistic help is expected from the US and Denmark. Nigeria is also providing some fighter jets as well. So far, at least 19 Malian soldiers and a French helicopter pilot had died in Mali. More than 100 militants are reported to have been killed. The Mali and French coalition has retaken Kona and Diabli from the Islamic rebels after some very fierce fighting. The number of civilians killed is still not yet known. The rebels in Mali acknowledge that they have suffered heavy losses in fights with the country's military and French troops. Sanda Bomama, the spokesman of the rebels, speaking from an undisclosed location, said nothing is going to stop them because this is a holy war and their fighters are ready to die for their cause. They also promised to make sure that France pays for interrupting their plans. Algeria, which shares a border with Mali, has opened its airspace to France to allow for quick access to Mali, and it has closed its long desert border with Mali. This cooperation with France is the pretext another Al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group in Algeria used as an excuse to attack an oil field in a city called In Amenas. The group known as Signed in the Blood Battalion was confronted by the Algerian military. In the first encounter, 30 hostages and 11 rebels were killed. The standoff continued for 4 days before the Algerian Special Forces launched what they called the final assault on Saturday, which left 11 rebels and 7 hostages dead. So far, there are still many foreign nationals unaccounted for. Please stay tuned as we go on a short break. We'll come right back. Welcome back. You are watching The World Today on Africa Globaltv. News just reaching us indicate that the convoy of His Royal Highness, the beloved Emir of Kano, Alhaji Ado Bayero, was attacked by the Islamist extremist group known as Boko Haram. But for the bravery and the ultimate sacrifice of the Emir's aides, the Emir would have been killed. Instead, 3 of his aides threw themselves in front of the Emir and therefore taking the bullets meant for the Emir. All 3 aides are now dead. His Royal Highness Alhaji Ado Bayero is one of the longest ruling monarchs in Nigeria. He is considered a just and fair Emir. He is especially very open to non-indigenous of Kano, and that is one of the major criticisms the Islamic terrorist group have against him, and that he is so welcoming to non-Muslims, and one of his best friends, the Oni of Ife, His Royal Highness Oba Sijuade, is a Christian. We will keep you updated as the news develops. Please stay tuned. Nigerian leaders loot treasury and use religion as a cover-up. So said the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, the Right Reverend Matthew Hassan Kuka. He said apart from faring badly in every index of human and material development, the north of Nigeria is reaping what it has sown. It is simply a question of what you sow is what you reap, Reverend Kuka said in an interview recently. That the north of Nigeria has sown useless seeds that have sprouted, and the result is what we are seeing today. Whether you call it Boko Haram, poverty, sickness, and doing badly in education. The north is behind in every index of development, he said. The manipulation of religion in the north over the years has only benefited the elite. He further said, although there have been problems in other parts of Nigeria, none has been as destructive as the one going on now with Boko Haram, because of the indiscriminate killing of people in the house of worship. He also disagreed with the notion that the reason the crisis is going on is because the president is from the southern part of Nigeria. He argued that the North had ruled Nigeria for the longest and still has nothing to show for it, except some huge mansions built by some few people. He prayed for the day when leaders with the love of the people in their hearts will get into the position of leadership again in Nigeria, especially in the North. That's the news for now. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you again after the break. Thank you. Valparaiso University is a regionally accredited private university located in Indiana State, founded by the Lutheran Church as a non-profit corporation in 1859. Valparaiso is the largest independent Lutheran university in the USA. The university on Saturday, January 13, 2013, honored former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo. They honored the former Army General by establishing an African Institute in his name. The institute, which was inaugurated on Saturday, January 13, 2013, will serve as a cultural exchange center between it and Nigeria in particular and Africa in general. It will serve also as an exchange and resource center for professional studies of Nigeria and African commerce, culture among students, artists, writers, educators, and politicians. At the ceremony, Obasanjo identified corruption, insecurity, and infrastructure decay as the major problem facing Africa. Obasanjo said that almost all the countries in Africa have one security problem or the other, pointing out that these problems will not allow for progress in any meaningful way in Africa. The security challenges facing Nigeria at the moment brought about by the Islamic terrorist group known as Boko Haram must be identified and dealt with accordingly. Obasanjo also stressed the need for attention to be placed on infrastructure improvement within the continent. The former Nigerian president called on Nigerians living abroad to return home where their knowledge and skills will be better utilized. We must develop people and retain them. We must encourage most of them that are living in the diaspora to move back home, he said. Obasanjo also said corruption is a very serious matter because it permeates every sector of the society and everyday life. The president of the university, Dr. Mark Hickler, said the exemplary leadership of Obasanjo in Africa and Nigeria in particular is the driving force that made the university honor him. Dr. Hickler said that the university was established in 1859 and the establishment of the African Institute was a dream fulfilled for the university. Also present at the ceremony is the Nigerian ambassador to the US, Professor Ade Adefuye. He also commended the university for giving honor to whom honor is due. Ambassador Adefuye described Obasanjo as someone who had contributed to the development of Nigeria greatly. Also present at the event were the former Attorney General of Nigeria, Chief Bayo Ojo, the Nigerian Consul General in New York, Habib Habu, Executive Secretary, Nigerian National University Commission, Professor Julius Okojie, and Director General Economic Summit Group, Frank Eweke.